Good morning, everyone. So let's get started with the third session of AC. And what we have done so far is a basic understanding of AC in terms of phasor. And we are typically take AC in terms of a sinusoidal function. But in some cases, it may not be sinusoidal. AC is something which keeps changing its magnitude and direction. And there are some simple questions. These questions are for your assignment. They are simple questions you should be easily able to solve. So we'll do one more question which is based on RMS value of current here. And whenever any graph is given, to find RMS, if we can convert in form of a mathematical expression, we can find RMS value. Now, you know what is also finding RMS value is nothing but definite integration. And whenever RMS value is mentioned, nothing else is mentioned. It means we need to calculate RMS value for which time? For time equal to capital T. So here also, if you have to find RMS here, what is this RMS here? And I think sometimes I feel easier to write RMS square so that the square root is not there. It is equal to mean value of square of current. It's mean value of square of current. So what is mean value? This is the mean value for a period 0 to t, square of current dt. So can I write I as a function of time here? What we notice here, but this is something, this is it's not just a, see, in case of typical sinusoidal value, it oscillates about mean position 0. Here it is not oscillating about the mean position. So can we write current as a function of time? And then you think of how do you write this current as a function of time here? So all I need to do, if I can write I as a function of time, rest all is simple, definite integration. So how do you write current as a function of time here? So when you look at this, does it make sense? What does this term V indicate here? See, this part is sinusoidal curve. And so this, what is this? Anywhere what the current is equal to, it is equal to some constant. It is also adding some constant value to SHM function. What is the constant value which has been added to SHM function? A has been added to the SHM function. So current is equal to A plus B into sine of omega t, which I can write as index of t. So this value, once I can write I, now it becomes easy. So what is RMS? This is equal to, so this is I function. And so you can write this one as 1 by t, 0 to t, A plus B sine of. So I can find first of all IRMS square, and then I can take the square root, I can get the value of this. This is simple integration. We can solve this question in two different ways. What are two different ways you can solve? So okay, one way of solving, you can solve in a typical mathematical step by step. I can add this as 1 by t, and just let's square this function. This becomes equal to A square plus B square sine square plus 2AB sine of, yes?
Sir, we can also say that the extra area added to the normal sinusoidal function is A into T.
No, actually, are we calculating area under the curve? We are calculating area under the square of the curve. That's where you have to be careful about. Are you following? See, if you have to calculate mean, the mean will be equal to A into T. A into T and divided by T. Mean will, in this case, what will the mean current here? Mean current will be equal to A. But to are you following? Have you understood? The difference is not, we don't have to calculate area. First, what we need to do, we need to square it and then take its mean. I'll come to that part again. So this question also you can solve in multiple ways. So I'll look at one more way to solve this question. Okay. So one way is simple mathematical way, and you can do step by step. And when we do integration here, so there are three of them. So let's look at this. What is, so we can take, what is the integration of whenever you have 0 to t, sine square 2 by t dt. This is one term. One term is A square, which is pretty easy, and other term is something like 2 sine 2 pi by t into dt. What is integration of this term? This term, by now you don't know, this term equates to, see, it's a 2, this will equal to 2 sine This term will equate to 0. All you know. So this term will become 0. When we integrate over time, this is something, this will become 0. This term will not be 0. This term here can be written as 1 by 2 integration of 0 to t 2 sin square t 1 minus cos of twice of 2 by t into t whole thing dt. I'm talking about this term. And this term also, again, V2 it becomes equal to integration of 1 by 2 is integration from 0 to t of dt, and minus is integration of cos of 2 pi by t into dt. This term will again come equal to 0. So what is done? This term equate to 0. So what does it lead to? But this term here, this integration of this whole term, it comes equal to t by 2. So integration of this term comes equal to t by 2. Integration of this term comes equal to 0. So if we write all this thing here, so this term you can write as 1 by t. Integration of this term a square t. Integration of this term is t by 2, so it will become to b square t by 2. And third term, this integration will come equal to 0. So what this term comes equal to? It comes equal to a square plus b square by 2. That is equal to my IRMS square. So what is IRMS equal to? IRMS is equal to root of a square plus b square by 2. Okay. What are the other ways I can look at this? Okay, so that's a step by step we can solve. And sometimes the question may be given something like this. And suppose this is given like this. This is right now we have done like AB. Suppose the question was given, it is varying, and this maximum value is given as say 12, and minimum value is given as 9. What will be the RMS value if it is given like this? All we need to do when maximum value and mean value is given, what is A equal to? A is equal to maximum value plus is a mean of maximum minimum value. So A will be equal to here in this case 12 plus 9 by 2. And what would be the B? So basically the mean value is, see, if something like this is given, again we can find value of A and B. A is B in the C. We can sometimes we call this as this is called, we can call this a DC component, and we can call this as an AC component. So this one is, so when we write this kind of function, what is this function? We can write this function is nothing but superposition of or summation of, this is superposition of DC and AC current. Okay. What is the other? Okay, that's a simple way we can solve. Okay, so we'll do one more thing today. So far, what we have done, one AC source was connected to a resistance. So what we'll do now, what would happen when AC source is connected to an inductor? So we'll do one by one. One is resistors connected, inductor connected, and then capacitor connected. Then two of them are connected, then all three are connected. All are connected in series. So when a resistor is connected, it means there's no resistance. It implies that inductor has no internal resistance. And these are connected. All cases, just pay attention, all cases our derivation are simple. In case of resistance also, whatever applied voltage is, so applied voltage will be equal to the voltage across the element which is connected. So previous case we have written applied voltage equal to IR. Now we'll write this applied voltage equal to EMF voltage across L. So that's the basic equation we write Kirchhoff loop. B indicates instantaneous value of applied voltage. We are applying Kirchhoff loop rule at any particular instance. So at any instance, Kirchhoff loop rule is valid, and all three cases, resistance, inductor, capacitor, all key cases equations will be same. I'll equate instantaneous applied voltage to voltage across this inductor, which is equal to L di by dt. Okay, so that's the equation. What are we interested in? If EMF is applied, which is in form of AC, what kind of current will flow through in the circuit? Our interest is our aim is to find current here. If this equation, how do you find current? Pretty simple. We can find current through integration. So we can rearrange the term. So what is di by dt? Di by dt is equal to instantaneous voltage by L. And what is voltage equal to? Applied voltage is sinusoidal function, and Vm is amplitude sine of omega t. And so what we notice here, unlike previous case in when resistance is connected, current is at any instance is directly proportional to voltage. Here current is not proportional to voltage. Rate of change of current is proportional to voltage here. So any instance, rate of change of current is proportional to applied voltage. So when applied voltage is large, current will change more rapidly. When applied voltage is zero, current will not change, and applied voltage is small, rate of change of current also will be small. So what is the point we notice here? Current is not directly proportional to voltage. And then we can integrate here. Integration is simple. So on integration, we take dt to this side and we integrate here. So it's not a definite integration. Why not definite integration? We don't know what the initial condition is. Okay, so it's a indefinite integration. So when I integrate di term, I is equal to, so we integration, simple integration. So sorry, minus Vm by I have
omega.
missed this term omega here.
Yes.
Yes. So minus omega plus constant, since a definite integration. But can we figure out what will the constant term here? See, what we understand here, this current also will oscillating term, and this also is an oscillating term. If I take it sum over time period, this also has to be 0, and this has to be 0. So it means if these two has to be 0 over a time period t, even the constant also has to be 0. Then only this condition will hold good. So based on our understanding that left hand side, this term is oscillating term, this also oscillating term. So this one oscillating term cannot be equal to other oscillating term if there's a constant here. So this constant also has to be equal to 0. So this average value over time period has to be equal to 0. Average value over time period has to be 0. It is possible only when the constant term is 0. So we take the constant term is equal to 0. That's integration. Now we write this cos omega t in terms of sine function. Can anyone think of why do we convert cos function into a sine function? Why do we want to write it? Why do we want to write cos function as a sine function here? See, if two SHM equations are given, suppose one equation I write something like a sine omega t, and second one I write, let's say a1, and this one I write sine as omega t plus phi. When we write like this, we know what is the phase difference between the two. Phase difference between them is phi, and which is constant. But if I have one equation written like this, and other equation is written like this, other is in cos term, and cos term is written in pi by 4 minus omega t. It's not easy to compare the phase difference between the two. So whenever we have to compare the phase difference, we need to write both the function is similar cos or similar sine function, and both the cases omega t has to be positive. So to compare two functions, to compare what is the phase difference between two functions, to understand two sinusoidal functions better, we need to write in similar terms. Since voltage in terms of sine term, even this also will convert into sine term, and when you write the sine term, omega t has to come first. So what we do, minus cos of omega t is equal to minus of sine pi by 2 minus omega t. Just give me a minute. Okay, so simple way, so cos of omega t minus sine of pi by 2 minus omega t, and this is simple conversion. The reason we convert so that we can compare, and after we write this term, what is I equal to? Constant term is equal to 0. I is equal to Im again. This is amplitude, and cos has been written as sine of omega t minus pi by 2. And what is Im equal to? Im is equal to Vm by omega L. So that's what we understand. Now let's try and understand what does this imply. So AC source connected, this is my result. So if we apply an AC voltage here, of course the current also will have oscillating term. It will also have same value of omega, and this is how the current will be. So current also will have an amplitude, it will have a phase. For all cases, we need to understand what determines the amplitude and how the phase is. How is the phase of current vis-a-vis phase of the EMF source? So let's first understand amplitude. What is amplitude? Im is equal to Vm by omega L, which means maximum value of current will be equal to maximum value of voltage divided by omega L. Let's try and understand this term also. When we compare this term, we compare ourselves with, in case of resistor. In case of resistance, what is the value of maximum current equal to? There the maximum current was equal to Vm by R. That was the amplitude of current here. So what we find if we compare those two equations, this term is similar to R. And in terms of dimension, this term omega L will have same dimension as dimension of R. The term omega L is analogous to R, and this term, it is analogous. It has similar dimension, but is not exactly similar. We'll see what is not the similarity. In terms of dimension, this term omega L is similar to R, and it's called inductive reactance. It's not called resistance, a similar term, and we call inductive reactance. The reason we use term inductive, because when we come to capacitor, there is a similar term which is called capacitive reactance. So we denote this term omega L as XL. XL has same dimension as R, which is omega L. So XL is equal to omega L. So that is first thing we need to remember here. XL is equal to omega L. Inductive reactance is equal to omega times L. It also depends on, it's not only depends on the property of the inductor, it also depends on angular frequency of the source. As the angular frequency of source changes, inductive reactance also will change. So reactance XL, same dimension as R. Similar to current, the current, see, resistance also limits the maximum value of current. Here also XL also limits the maximum value of current in the circuit. So that respect also it has similar. But unlike resistance, in case of resistance, if we take in case of circuit involving an AC supply source, AC EMF and resistance, if we calculate average power over a cycle VI, that doesn't come to zero in case of resistance. Here, if I take V into I, since they are out of phase, we calculate V into I over one time period, it comes to zero. So unlike resistance, there's no loss of energy in one time cycle. So that's the difference. These are two similarity and that's the difference. And that's why there's some similarity, some difference. And other difference, what we notice, why this has come to zero here. The reason it has come to zero, because the maximum value of current is not happening at the same instance when the voltage is maximum. There's a phase difference. Let's try and understand what does the phase difference mean. So in terms of phasor, we many times we use this notation. You'll find this kind of thing in Resnick-Halliday also. So phasor, to remember phasor, we use the term kind of a mnemonic to memorize LE. What does ELI term LE mean? See which term comes first. EMF comes before current, which is to remember EMF leads current by pi by 2 or current lags EMF by pi by 2. So how do we draw that one? So there are three key points here. What are the three key points we need to understand in case of an inductor connected to AC? Inductor also at any instance, inductor, what are the points we need to remember in case of inductor? Maximum current will be equal to Vm by XL. XL is equal to omega L. There is a phase difference between current and voltage. Current LE, voltage will lead the current by 90 degree, which means their peak will not occur at the same time. We see the graph again. That's the so first point. These are the points we need to remember. XL, yes, Vignesh, yes.
Sir, VIDT is the heat generated, right, sir?
VIDT is equal to, what is VIDT? See, yes, energy heat generated.
How can that be zero, sir? Like
in this case?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one is sine function, one is cos function. See, if we integrate sine square 2 pi by t dt over 0 to 0, this is not 0. But if I
Yes, sir.
integrate, we have just done little before, 2 pi by t and cos.
So like, do they like? Are you trying to say that heat is lost and gained or something like that?
No, not heat is lost. See, first of all, there's no, see, if there was a heat, there would have been loss. See, in case of resistance, what is the power, what is the rate at which heat is dissipated? In case of resistance, we calculate equal to Vi, or we can use three different terms. I can do I square R, V square R. And whichever manner we can calculate what is this term over one time period. And this term doesn't come as 0. Whereas this term Vi, our understanding of Vi in terms of resistance, in terms of DC, what we understood by Vi term, rate at which energy is lost in the resistance. If I integrate Vi here, it comes to 0. How do we interpret why Vi comes to 0? In case of this is not 0, here it is 0. So how do we interpret Vi is not 0? Otherwise also we understand what is happening in case of inductor. As the current increases, it absorbs energy. As current decreases, it releases energy. And again, to confirm Vi dt is equal to comes to 0, again we can integrate, we get V term and I term. Again we integrate, we find it comes to 0. So Vi term is in a way, from our understanding of resistance, Vi term is nothing but power consumption. And when we calculate power consumption, it comes to 0 here. See, even without doing also, but sometimes I think if you use this understanding, but even without this also, do we understand why in case of inductor, how can we say the power consumption in inductor is 0? Even without this also. In case of DC circuit, how do we conclude that inductor, the power is, it doesn't consume power? Anybody? How did we conclude? You see, in case of in case of DC also, we can DC cases. In DC cases, whether inductor is charged and it can discharged. What happens in charging process in the case of inductor? It absorbs energy. And what we find when it discharges, it releases same amount of energy. So what we understood in case of inductor, as the current rises, it absorbs energy. As current drops, it releases energy. And if we complete a cycle from 0 to 0, net is 0. Basically, whatever energy is absorbed, is the entire energy gets released. Okay, so if it doesn't make sense for the time, you can score it off. Even this is not necessary. Without this also we know. In case of inductor, as the current increases, absorbs energy. As the current decreases, it releases energy. And if it comes back to the same level of current, net energy is 0 in case of inductor. Okay, so so this perhaps may not be, some people may find it counterintuitive why you're doing Vi. If you understand, it's okay. Otherwise, nothing. If we integrate Vi, it will come to 0 in this case, which is similar to power consumption. Okay, and how do we draw the phasor? Let's third point we understand in terms of phasor. So phasor means what? If I draw a phasor for current, the phasor lead means what? See, which direction is the phasor rotating? The phasor is rotating in this fashion. So lead means this is which of the two are leading. If it's like this, both are moving in a circular path. So this one is ahead of the I phasor. This one leads, and we can say the two ways of stating this one. We can state that voltage leads current by 90 degree, or we can also the current lags voltage by 90 degree. Just one more way we come to this one. So 3 points we understand. So this is XL, and maximum current will be equal to Vm by omega L. Can we also write this current? This is term, this maximum L. Can I also write I is equal to VL? What does this term indicate here? So this term, whenever I use suffix here, it indicates maximum value. If I don't use suffix here, what does this indicate here? RMS value. Is this equation, is this relationship also valid or not? This is correct. This is maximum value of current. This is max amplitude of current. This is amplitude of voltage. This is an equation between amplitudes. Will this relationship in RMS values also be valid or not? Will it be valid or not? Akash? We use three notation. What are three notations we use? When you use something like suffix m, indicates amplitude. If I use capital letter, it indicates RMS value. RMS value, what is RMS value equal to? RMS value is peak value divided by √2 in case of sinusoidal function. And if we use without suffix small letter I or V, it indicates instantaneous value. So will this also be valid or not? Akash, are you there or not? Disha? Is my question clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Will this be valid or not? So this equation is written. We arrived at this equation, and because we are using Vm by omega L, so I write three things similar way. This is in terms of maximum value. I can write values in terms of RMS value, and something third one. If I write instantaneous terms, will I be equal to V by? Sorry, what I have written. I missed this omega term. Are all three valid or not?
Yes, sir.
This is valid. This is valid. This is not valid. This is why this is valid, because from same equation, if I divide both sides by √2, I get this equation. So it is valid in terms of amplitude. It is valid in terms of RMS value. It is not valid in terms of instantaneous values. Can someone think of why this instantaneous values?
There's a phase difference, right?
Huh?
There's a phase difference between current
There's
and
phase difference. Maximum value of current is not happening at the same instance when the voltage is maximum. So this is true only in case of maximum value to find amplitude, find RMS value, but not in terms of instantaneous values. But they are not happening at the same instance. Okay, so that's the point we need to keep in mind. This is valid, this is valid, this one is not valid. That's the third. Yes, Vignesh.
Sir, in this case, what does the phase difference indicate and what causes it, sir?
Okay, let's do that one. I was coming to that part. Okay, so let's say suppose this is given. Okay, suppose this is a given. I know two things. Okay, I know di by dt is equal to V by L. This is coming from my Kirchhoff rule. Suppose this is a voltage which is applied to inductor. Can I draw what will the current shape of the current curve will look like? This is applied voltage to inductor. Vignesh, since you asked the question, based on this, can I draw the shape of the current curve? How
Yes,
do
sir, I mean the slope of the graph should match with the voltage.
Slope should match with the V value. So wherever V is positive, slope should be positive. When V is high, slope should be high. When V is 0, slope should be 0. When V is negative, slope should be negative. Is it not? So can I draw? So one thing is known from this relationship. Can I draw current curve? So let me mark where is the voltage positive. I find here from this part to this part voltage is positive. So what has to happen? The slope has to be positive. And from here to here voltage is negative, hence the slope has to be negative. And which point this point slope is positive. So it has to be something like increasing function. But by the time it comes here, what has to be slope at this point here? Slope has to become 0. So beginning here, the slope has to be 0 here. Slope has to be 0 here. Slope has to be maximum at this point. Are you making sense or not? So what is the shape of current I should have here without going for differential equation? Can I draw the shape of current curve? Nitya, can you draw the shape of the current curve? Are you following what I'm saying so far? Nitya?
Yes, sir.
Are you following what I'm saying? What are we trying to do? Have you understood what I'm trying to do? See, we have a voltage which is varying as a sine function. We know this equation is applied voltage is equal to L di by dt. So without using differential equation, if I know the voltage is varying like this, can I draw the shape how the current will vary? Using this property. So what I have done here, using this equation, I have written a simple logic here. When voltage is positive, here from here to here voltage is positive. Hence slope of current curve also has to be positive. Positive slope for current. And this should have negative slope. Can you draw the shape here? Actually, the shape will come something like this. Jaideep, have you understood why the shape is coming like this?
Yes, sir.
So what do you notice here? When is the current maximum? Current
When
is
it's
maximum,
zero,
the
sir.
voltage has become 0. And afterwards, what will happen? Now negative slope. So until here positive slope, now till negative slope. What the shape would look like? The shape will look like this. So what we understand here, okay, but this is something, and if this is my VM, and this will be my IM. To draw this curve, what are the things I need to draw this curve? To draw this curve, IM curve, I need to know this amplitude, and I need to know the phase difference between the two. Have you understood? See, what is happening here? This voltage has reached its peak here. Current is reaching its peak after T by 4. There's a phase, current lags by 90 degree in terms of phase. Is that making some sense now?
Yes, sir.
So even without differential equation, and that what we had drawn here, same thing I can indicate in terms of phasor. How do we indicate in a phasor? How do I draw the phasor at this point here? This is 0. How do I draw the VM phasor? In this case, if I have to draw the phasor for this curve, I'll draw VM voltage phasor like this. This is my voltage phasor. And how my current is? Current is like this. This will be my current phasor. Okay. So how are you following so far? Tejas,
Yes, sir.
Karthikeya? Karthikeya,
Yes, sir.
are you following this? Have you followed what this is mean?
Yes, sir.
So again, to summarize, let me say, this is something what we have. This is something is given. I know what is the voltage I'm applying to an inductor. And so if we apply voltage, what kind of voltage applying? To understand this voltage is a sinusoidal function. It will have amplitude. It will have certain value of t. I understand even the current also will have same time period. Even the current also will be sinusoidal function. To find the sinusoidal function, any sinusoidal function will have 3 terms. What are 3 terms sinusoidal function has? It will have an amplitude. It will have value. What are 3 terms it will have? Amplitude. It will have omega. It will have phase constant. So what will be the amplitude of current here? This amplitude of current here, though they are not happening at the same time, this amplitude depends on amplitude of voltage. What is why current amplitude? This current amplitude is related to voltage amplitude. How much is that one? So amplitude of current is Vm divided by XL. What is XL called? Inductive reactance. What is inductive reactance is equal to omega L. Omega of this term for current also the same. How about phase? So whatever phase voltage has, current will be lagging by 90 degree. So it means suppose V is given as this is voltage applied. Voltage applied is something like this. Can I write if XL is equal to 5? So omega L is equal to 5. So my inductor is such that omega L is equal to 5. What will be the equation for current? If this is voltage equation, can we write equation of current here? Can we write equation of current here? Advay, can you write equation of current here? Advay? Sorry, I missed one term T here. Can you, Advay, can you write an equation for current here?
Not sure, sir.
Not sure, okay. Okay, let me say, who else can type? Bhageshri, can you tell me equation of current here? Bhageshri? Not sure? Okay. Disha?
Yes, sir.
Can you try? What will the equation of current, and can we give reason also? Most of the things are written here. Can I write if this is applied voltage to an inductor having XL is equal to 5? How do I obtain XL? Here, okay, let me write in there. I have not written clearly, so let me write this part again. What is the V value here? Let me write V value here again. V is equal to 10 of sine of 100 pi t plus pi by 4. I want to write this. How do I calculate XL? What is omega here? Omega is 100 pi. And suppose the L value given was such, I get XL is equal to 5. Can I write current equation? That's the purpose of the whole discussion here. If voltage is given, if inductor is given, I can find out I as a function of time. Can you write I as a function of time? Disha, do you think you can write
Yes. Yes, sir. Like Im will be Vm by omega L.
Vm by omega. What is Vm here?
10.
10. Vm by XL. Vm by omega L or XL. Vm as omega L is given as 5.
5.
And then we'll have omega term here. What is the omega here? How much omega I should write here?
Same, sir.
Same as before. That's what you're saying. 100 pi. Now I have to write phase constant here.
Yes.
This phase constant was pi by 4. What should be the phase constant here? Should I write pi by 4 or something else?
Minus pi by 4.
Minus pi by 4. Because it's lagging behind 90 degree. Advay,
Yes, sir.
was it difficult?
No, sir.
Now you have to think, why do we miss such point? And that's what we are discussing here. And that's it. To find this equation, what are things needed? I need to know what is the amplitude. This term is same. I need to know the phase difference also. So does it make sense? Now, if I ask this question again, can I say V is equal to I by, can we say I is equal to V by XL? Is this equation valid or not? What does this indicate? When I write like this, instantaneous value, very clearly we see when here the current has become 0, voltage is not 0. It is not true for instantaneous value. So this is, we write Im is equal to Vm divided by XL. This is only valid for amplitudes. Okay. Anvita, have you understood something? Anvita?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, from the graph, like, can we explain why we took the integration constant as 0, sir?
Okay. Basically, what basic integration constant? You tell me if we take a summation, if we add up this term. You see, integration constant, why I'm spending not too much time on, because that doesn't have much of significance. Okay, tell me one thing. Suppose I integrate a function which is like this. Plus 4. If I take this function, if I integrate over one time period, will it come to 0? Will it come to 0? This term will integrate to 0, and this term will definitely not integrate to 0. Are you saying, is it true or not true?
Yes, sir.
So if I have equation, left hand side has one sinusoidal function, right hand side has one sinusoidal function plus a constant. What has to be value of constant? Because the total has to match over a time period. See, if the equation is true at all instances, its summation also has to match. Can it match with the constant being non-zero? Only way it can match is constant is equal to 0. Is it not?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood. And has we understood the shape of the curve also? So what was the purpose of whole discussion here? If I apply a voltage like this, can I find how would current vary? Have you found that or not? To find if voltage equation is known, how do you define? Again, let me do this again. Let's take again this time what is voltage equal given? Voltage is equal to given as 550 root 2 sine of 200 pi t minus pi by 6. Okay, and then I have connected up, okay, and I have to calculate XL. For calculation, XL is equal to omega into L, and omega is equal to 200 pi. And see, if my L value is equal to 1 by 100 pi, and that's omega in terms of Henry. So that's the value of L in terms of Henry. So omega will come equal to 1 by 100 into pi, which is equal to 2. And what will the units? This is also 2 ohms. So can we write equation for current here? If I can write equation of current, I can find the value of current at any instance of time. Can we write an equation for current now? Dhanshri, can you write an expression for current now?
Sir, so basically you have to divide the Vm by XL.
No, so basically, see, every time we have to think of when we have a sine function has 3 terms. What are 3 terms? It has amplitude, it has omega, it has phase constant. So I need to write those 3 things. So what is here also Im? So first thing I need to know IM. Is that clear? Is very simple steps. There's no concept involved. Some of you keep thinking concept. There's no concept. It's method now. Once this is okay, a little bit of concept here. What is IM equal to? IM is equal to VM divided by XL. How much is that equal to? That is equal to 50 root 2 divided by 2. So I can write 25. Now what else we need to write here? This becomes 25 sine of. This term also has to be same or different? It has to be
So
same.
same.
Now can you tell me the phase constant here? What has to be the phase constant here?
Minus 5/6 minus 5/2.
So this is again, whatever I have here, I'll subtract pi by 2. That's the expression for current. Any difficulty in this? No. So do they happen together? No. So will the peak of voltage and current happen at the same time? No, they do not happen at the same time. But their amplitudes are related. Okay. So that's what we need to understand here. So we need to understand how to calculate what is XL here, what is IM here, and what is the phase constant here. These are three things we need to understand. So are these three things clear? Shravani, Badekar, you're thinking you're still just today not in the study mood. Okay. So I hope that you have understood AC source connected to. Now we'll take a case if AC source is connected to resistance as well as inductor. Both are connected. Previous case we taken only one. This was connected. One inductor was connected. So we have seen earlier what happens in case of resistance. We have seen what happens in case of inductor. Now if both are connected, and this time is solved without mathematical. Okay, this is something. So if you have to apply Kirchhoff loop rule, what would I have written? At any instance, V is equal to IR plus LdI by dt. That will be equation. Now our aim is to determine, so this is applied voltage. What kind of applied voltage? Applied voltage is sinusoidal. I can write this equation equal to V sin omega t plus phi. Phi may be 0 or non-zero. It can have any value. And based on this, our aim is always to find what is the value of current. And in this case, we are also interested in finding out how the voltage across resistance will vary, how the voltage across inductor will vary, and how will current vary. So we want to know three things. And basically, if this is sinusoidal function, this is easy to actually make an intelligent guess that this also will be sinusoidal function, this also will be sinusoidal function, and this also will be sinusoidal function. All three will have same value of omega. This omega here, all three will be same. All I need to do, I need to find out what is the amplitude of current, what is the amplitude of voltage across resistance, what is the amplitude of voltage across inductor, and how are the phase related. That's what we need to find. So I'll repeat again. Which kind of circuit we have? Now resistance and inductor both are connected. They are connected in series. If we apply a voltage, apply an AC source here. AC source has, this is the kind of equation we can write. So what are the three things we need to find here? We need to find current here, voltage across R, voltage across L. All three will be sinusoidal function. Each of them will have amplitude. They'll have omega will be same as this, and each one of them there will be some relationship between the phase constant. So we are interested in finding those two, each one amplitude and phase constant. Let's see how do we find. And okay, first thing what again easy to understand here, the current, since they are connected in series, whatever current is there across resistance, same current flows through across inductor. So current will be oscillating with same omega. So if a VM has zero phase, current will have some phase constant which we need to find, and this also what we need to find. But what we can easily guess, the current also will oscillating with same omega. Okay, and see that's how the science develops. We make this assumption based on some intelligent guess and see whether assumption is correct or not through several verification process. So this is something we could have done through integration also, but we are not doing integration. Integration not necessary. Okay, so this is VR and VL. Any instance current will be same. Other thing what we had done in previous cases, any instance Kirchhoff loop rule is valid. So applied voltage will be equal to sum of voltage across three elements. Across these two elements. So applied voltage will be equal to instantaneous value of R plus instantaneous value of L. And so that's what the equation is. Okay. So voltage also has all will be oscillating, and all these things can be represented in terms of phasor. Okay. So I hope we can understand little bit of how to represent in terms of phasor. Let's do that now. So what is applied voltage here? That's where I come to say this voltage, applied voltage, gets distributed in two parts. This applied gets distributed in these two parts. Or other way of saying is sum of VR and VL is equal to applied voltage. And how do we find sum of two quantities which are varying a sine function? How do we find sum of two sinusoidally varying quantities? Using phasor sum. So in effect, what you're saying, if we take phasor sum of VR and VL, it will be equal to applied voltage. Applied voltage will be equal to sum of two phasors, VR and VL. Is this understood, Advay? This is understood?
Yes, sir.
Why is it so? Why we written this quantity? Is it making sense? See, again, to repeat this point here, what you are saying here, whatever voltage we apply, as we have seen in case of series circuit, this voltage is getting distributed in two parts. Which two parts? VR and VL. So reverse, we are saying this sum of, if I draw VR curve, then VR also may have some sinusoidal function. And it will not be in phase. If I draw VR and if I draw VL, and if I take sum of those two phasors, and if it takes sum of all we add up all the instantaneous values, it should match up with the applied voltage. This is the important point. If all have understood, anybody has a query, this is the point we need to understand here. So this question, we solve based on two principles. Two principles are current is same in both, and sum of voltage phasor is equal to applied voltage. Now let's draw the phasor and see, understand how to calculate it. Okay, applied voltage will be sum of two phasors. How do we so what we had done here, current is common for both. So I have chosen a time t is equal to 0 when phase constant for I is equal to 0. So phase constant for current is 0 means how do we draw the phasors? I can draw current phasor at 0 angle. That's the time I've chosen 2 is equal to 0. Okay. Voltage also this something. So this is current at t is equal to 0. This is a phasor for I. This is at 0 angle. So if this is current phasor, how will be the voltage phasor, VR phasor be? VR phasor, we have already done characteristics of voltage across resistance. Voltage and current across resistance are in the same phase. So I can draw VR phasor, VR also the voltage phasor for resistance also will be in the same phase as current. Now third thing I want to come to, how do we draw VL here? Can anyone tell how to draw VL here?
180 degrees.
So what we know, LE, so in case of voltage across inductor, we lead current. So how do I draw VL? VL, yes, LE leads current by 90 degrees. So I'll draw the voltage phasor leading by 90 degrees. Which direction rotation is? So leading is it will rotate by 90 degrees here. This is VL. What is the next step we should do based on this? What is the next step we should do? So I had drawn phasor for current, I had drawn phasor for VL and VR, and we have drawn phasor for VL. What is how do we apply this condition? If I take sum of VL phasor and VR phasor, what would that represent? If I take sum of VL and VR phasor, and this is easy to find the sum of these two. What is the sum of those? Sum of the two phasor will be the phasor for applied voltage. So if I take vector sum of these two phasors as the sum, I get this blue line. What does blue line represent? Blue line represents the applied voltage. So this represents phasors of applied voltage, current which is flowing in the circuit, VL and VR. All are contained in this. And what does this angle phi indicate here? What does this angle phi indicate? Phase difference between applied voltage and current in the circuit. Okay. Shreya?
Yes, sir.
Anything getting into your head?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, let me repeat. Basically, which principle are you applying here? Let me again tell, we have drawn this previous case also. So this is applied voltage here. and applied voltage, whatever sine of omega t, and it maybe has some phase constant. This is phi here. So there'll be, what are the three things we need to find? Current, voltage across resistance also will oscillate, voltage across, since the current is oscillating, voltage also will oscillate. And here current is oscillating, even voltage across inductor also will oscillate. So all quantities are oscillating, all are sine function, and all sine function can be represented in form of a phasor. What is the relationship we know? Relationship we know, this phasor and this phasor will always be in phase. And this phasor and this phasor, there will be a difference of 90 degree. And sum of these two phasor has to be equal to this phasor. These are things we know. And that's what we have drawn in terms of phasor diagram. So what we have done, again, to be started from, we have chosen the phase time t is equal to 0. When phase constant, this is the current phasor. And then VR phasor will be in the same phase as the current phasor in resistance. VL phasor will lead by 90 degree. And once we have VL and VR, and the phasor sum will be equal to applied voltage. Now we formed a right angle triangle. So there's some quantities. Now we can fill in those quantities using the angle phi will represent the phase difference between voltage and current. And actually, who's leading in this case? Current leading or voltage leading here? Voltage is leading current by phi. Voltage is leading current by phi. This angle in which the phasor rotate. Okay. So in this case, what we can write here? So Vm square is equal to, basically in terms of, this is all drawn in terms of what? Phasor represents amplitude. So I can write applied voltage as Vm. Vm square is equal to Vrm square, amplitude of voltage across resistance, amplitude of voltage across inductor. So this is Vm square is equal to Vrm square plus VL square. And this is something. So yeah, I have not written max here. This is something it represents magnitude. And we know in case of how is voltage and current related in case of resistance, voltage is equal to, their amplitudes are related in case of resistance, amplitudes are related in case of inductor also. Here the voltage is equal to Im into R. Here amplitude of voltage is equal to Im into XL. And so this is something we substitute here. So what do we get here? Vm square is equal to Im square, R square plus XL square. I get the amplitude of current. I get the amplitude of current from this equation. What is the amplitude of current equal to? Amplitude of current is equal to Vm divided by some value. And this value also will have same dimensions as the dimensions of R. And this term in the denominator, this is called value. This is something we come across R term, we came across XL, and now we come across a term called Z. The Z also is called impedance. So what will the amplitude of current? Amplitude of current will be equal to amplitude of voltage divided by Z. And Z is the value which is R square plus XL square whole thing square. So this is the definition also we can get it from here. This is also what you need to memorize. We'll see when C comes later. This value is Z. Z is called impedance. This is the equation we get here. Again, to repeat, I, VR, okay, impedance is Z square L square, VL, and V. Okay, that's the impedance. R square plus XL whole square. Square root. Z has the same dimension. It also limits the current similar to R. Higher the value of Z, lesser is the amplitude of current. And now only thing left is finding value of phi here. So how do we find tangent phi here? Tangent phi is equal to amplitude of voltage across inductor divided by amplitude of voltage across resistance, VL by VR. That's tan phi. And VL is equal to, what is voltage? Im into XL, Im into R. It becomes XL by R. So in inductor, if I know the value of L, if I know the omega of source which is used, I can find XL. So what are things which are known? Applied voltage is known, resistance is known, inductor is known. Based on that, we can find out XL also. We can find out amplitude of current, and we can also find out phase by angle by which voltage will lead current. So I can write an expression for current. So what would the, if this, okay, if I write I is equal to Im sine of whatever, you can write in terms of F also. If this is a current value, what will the voltage be equal to? Voltage will be equal to Vm. It will lead by how much? Plus phi. Voltage will lead. LE voltage leads. And how the quantity is related? Im I can find out. Im is equal to amplitude of voltage divided by impedance Z, and phi is equal to tan phi is equal to XL by R. So with all the terms can be found out. That's a RL circuit. Okay. Circuit, the current circuit lags applied voltage by angle phi Le. So this is something, this leads amplitude L I. So this is something we apply. If V is equal to, this is how V is given. Can we write equation for current here? If this is how the voltage is given, this is applied voltage here in the circuit here. How would I find out current here? To find current, to find amplitude, first I have to find Im. To find Im will be equal to Vm divided by impedance. So first I'll find out impedance. Impedance will be equal to R square plus XL square. So I find impedance, I can find out the amplitude of current. Rest what is left is finding phi. I can find out tan phi here. So current will be equal to Im sine of, and here Le, current lags, so omega t minus phi. And all the terms can be found out. That's the purpose of all discussion today. How to find the current in a circuit if voltage and these two electrical elements are given. Okay. So there are some simple questions based on this. They can easily be solved. This is also part of our assignment today. All of you can solve. If not, we'll discuss in the work session today. So this question, can we solve this easily? If inductance, this is what is given. What are things which are given connected in series to? So moment I read what kind of circuit this is equal to RL circuit. Okay, this is R is given. R is given as 300. And L is given 1 by pi Henry, no millimicro. Voltage of 200 volts. Is it maximum value or RMS value? RMS value. So if I have to write VM will be equal to 200 root 2. And frequency is given. So what is the value of V? Can I write equation for V? V equal to 200 root 2. Sine of frequency is given. So it is 2 pi into frequency into T. 2 pi into frequency is 200 T. And if this is voltage, how the current will be? So current will be equal to Vm by sine of 400 pi T minus phi. What is tan phi equal to? If you just remember the phasor diagram, which is the more important thing, where tan phi is equal to XL by R. What will be XL be equal to? Omega L by R. What is omega here? 400 pi. So this is equal to 400 pi. Okay, can easily solve this part here. So we can find the phase difference between voltage and current. We can also find the amplitude of current. Other things also we can find out. Okay. Okay. Next one. This also is a simple question. This also RL circuit. 30 volt DC source. Okay. This question I will discuss in the next session. Okay. So when a DC source, suppose RL circuit, if I connect a DC source here. In DC source, what is the current in the steady state when DC source is connected? What is the current in case of DC source? In a steady state, current in a steady state. That is what is given. Current in a steady state is what is given. Let's see. 30 volts of current in a steady state will be equal to V by R. Inductor will not have any significance. So what is given? The current is 2 amperes. So this is given as 2. Voltage applies 30 by R. So if what it does, first part of the statement gives you value of R. So even inductors, it will have resistance of a circuit shown is when this is connected. This what is given here. Then AC is connected. So current is equal to 1.2 ampere. What is current here? The current is RMS current. So what will RMS current be equal to? I RMS, or I can write I will be equal to V by Z. So as we can write for amplitude, same thing I write for RMS value. I can find the value of Z, and Z is equal to Z. This is equal to root of R is known. We can find out L. We can find out. Sorry, you don't have to find omega. We can find out XL value. Okay, so this also we can solve. Okay, so I'll stop here because I think the time is up. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, we equated the RMS current to V by Z.
Yeah, because RMS, I mentioned here, you can write equation in 3 forms. What are 3 forms I can write equation? I can, this is amplitude, we can write.
Oh yeah, the voltage is also RMS.
RMS. So voltage both have to be RMS value. But instantaneous value, no. It is valid only in case of peak value, RMS value, not in instantaneous values. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, we can use the phasor diagram to only identify the relation between the maximum potential difference.
See, we use phasor diagram. Okay. See, when